It's 10 o'clock on the dot. Good evening and welcome to the news brought to you by Eswatini TV. I'm Sanapo Ngoan. I'm with Maklabes Onkambule. We're coming to you live from the Hospital Hill Studios in Babane. Thanks so much for choosing to stay with us. Your headlines tonight. The Deputy Prime Minister encourages motorists to respect pedestrians, including disabled members of the public. Senate wants the Minister for Finance to table a report about the drug situation in the country. And the Minister for Health has launched the campaign that seeks to strengthen screening at the country's ports of entry. Good evening, the news in detail. The Deputy Prime Minister, Senator Thulsile Dladla, says motorists should respect pedestrians, including people with disabilities. The TPM was speaking at the Mbabane Government Hospital when visiting Peggy Shabang, who is deaf and dumb, who is also involved, who was involved in a hit-and-run accident in Mbabane.
On the second day of September 2024, Peggy Shabangu's life changed for the worst when he was involved in a hit-and-run accident while crossing next to the Taiwanese embassy in Mbabane. He was then rushed to the Mbabane government hospital by responsible citizens of this country because the driver of the car did not stop. On Wednesday, the Deputy Prime Minister, Senator Thulsile Dladla, visited him at Ward 16, where he is currently receiving medical treatment. Shabangu explained to the DPM that the car that hit him was black and driven by a male who was in the company of a female. The Deputy Prime Minister says it is disheartening that there are cruel people in this country who do not care about the lives of our fellow Maswati.
Thina labashayelako sicaphele vele uma sihamba ngoba angeke sathi ukuthi lo muntu uyabona yini noma uyeva yini etindlebeni. Sinebantu inhlobonhlobo ye-disability, labanye bahamba ngama-crutches, labanye bahamba nge-wheelchair. At least labahamba nge-wheelchair uyashesha kumbona bese-ke but lo munye utawuthi hawu ulona wangena emgawaceni ngichamuka kanti akaboni noma akeva akayiva le moto akayiboni le moto nako konke lokho sesithi-ke asesisonzele kakhulu Ministry of Works sesibonisane ukuthi sireza njani awareness wo onke Maswati lashayelako lokubhlungu ngalo kwaba hit and run but sibonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi umphefumulo ukhona kepha nje nalapho siyacela ukuthi noma ngabe umuntu ufuna kushayisa umuntu ngemabomu kuba siphosiswe ngaso sonke isikhathi uma ashayisekile mani umthathe utokwati necondition yakhe.
2 weeks ago, a pupil from the School for the Deaf was buried after she was also involved in a car accident. Fortunately, the driver of that vehicle stopped and took her to hospital, where she was certified dead upon arrival. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Lincoln Kule with Mbendulo Kumbi in Babane.
The Minister of Housing, the Honorable Apollo Mapalala, has congratulated the Manzini Town Council CEO, Lungile Dlamini, on her appointment as the first African Vice President for the Local City Management Association, ICMA, and for being the President of the Local Authority Managers Association, ELAMA. Now, the Minister says she is an inspiration to other women. He was speaking during the CEO celebration that was held at the Happy Valley Hotel at Zulini.
This year, July, the Manzini Town Council CEO Lungile Dlamini was appointed the first African Vice President of the Local City Management Association, known as ICMA. She also serves as the President of the Local Managers Association, ELAMA. She has since been celebrated for her achievements. The Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Honorable Apollo Mapalala, says this is an example of her leadership skills. The minister describes her as a phenomenal woman who has excelled on her work ethic.
Now we are like ICMA Lungile. Be a true ambassador of the kingdom and be a true ambassador of local government. Eswatini.
The minister advised her to fly the Eswatini flag. He says the CEO must venture into the big space and absorb knowledge as much as possible. The CEO says she is humbled by the recognition. She will ensure to share ideas, learn and improve local government.
Can I ask everyone who's here to please support Manzini as we go out globally. This appointment is not mine, but it's ours, right? As we sit here today, we need to be sitting globally and influencing what's happening in our space.
Other speakers of the day included Sitembile Smelane from the Sitegi Town Council and Gideon Mhlongo, amongst others. For Eswatini TV News, I am Kian MCB at the Happy Valley, Eswatini.
The Senate wants the Minister for Finance, the Honourable Nell Rickenback, to table a forensic report on the acquisition and distribution of medicines. The Senate says government has been spending millions for the past 15 years conducting audits on the acquisition and distribution of medicines.
When the Senate convened for parliamentary work on Wednesday, Senator Lizzie Nkosi moved a motion without notice for the Honourable Minister of Finance, saying, will the Honourable Minister submit to Senate the forensic audit into the acquisition and distribution of medicines to public health facilities in Eswatini.
Live na hulmende solo lenda ema forensic audits, Madam President, in the same area ye acquirisha ne distribute ama drugs aka health. Nga 2000 in 9th Parliament nga 2008-2009 yafaka audit. At the time bebasabuka nje kwekuthi kumbe kungabuka phalala yendwa nge-KPMG. Kwasemva kwaloyo isengakafika indzawo ikuphuma kwaleyo report kwase kuthiwa akwendiwa a broader audit yekubuka ukuthi litiko letempilo li-acquirisha njani, li-acquirishako bese distributwa njani, kwendiwa nge-Ernst & Young nga 2009. It was a forensic audit at that point. On the back of that forensic audit, nga 2011, Baga Global Fund looking at investment yabo ke manje bese babuka lama grants lateka Global Fund lafaka imali bo central medical stores and so forth, nabo bafaka forensic audit lenkulu. Sesifika ku 11th Parliament, Madam President, kungena forensic audit na ilendiwe nyalo asiyadike ku-ipoti yakhona ukuthi tawuthini ngoloku siyicela indvuna, Madam President, kwekuthi ayisilithelele board sitokhona kubuka kusukela lemuva kulo 15 years ukuthi bekuyini letingqitamba kangaka nangabe tikhona kwendiweni ngalama recommendations nguphi lapha kusishiye khona nekuthi, Madam President, akufike isikhathi la live litawukhona ukuthi liwende lo msebenzi ufike ekugcineni ngoba nyalo kubuka ngathi live na hulumende senda info yinye siyiphinze every administration, every parliament.
The Honourable Minister of Finance, Nell Rickenback, welcomed the motion.
And thank you for the motion. We're quite comfortable with the motion, Madam President. Just to state, Madam President, that we're more than comfortable to table the report. There's nothing wrong with that. It was called for by the House of Assembly, and so hence it was tabled there, Madam President. But if the Honourable House of Senate would like it, no problem at all. We're more than welcome to accept the motion, and in 7 days' time bring it if that's necessary. Thank you.
The Honourable Minister of Finance, Nell Rickenback, will submit before the Honourable House the forensic audit within 7 days after the passing of this motion. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samka Swekoza with Sekombozo Dlamini and Themba Shabangu, Parliament.
The Honourable Minister of Public Works and Transport, Senator Chief Ndlahlaza Ndwandwe, says Eswatini is still behind schedule in the enacting of civil aviation regulations. The Honourable Minister was speaking in Parliament on Wednesday. Eswatini TV Samka Swekoza has more on that story.
On Wednesday, when Senate convened for parliamentary work, Senator Lorraine Nxumalo, represented by Senator Chief Ngomendla Ngamandla, moved a motion without notice of the adoption of 4 regulations under the Civil Aviation Act of 2022.
Lama regulations lawa akadze kusebenta nekuphepha kwesibhakabhaka lekwenta kutsi live libukeke lisalele emuva uma ngabe sisawagodlile nje ngoba le traffic yala itulu kasisebenzi sodwa silive sinalamanye emave. Uma ngabe ke emave abuka le live akhanza ukuthi lokhu kusilele ngemuva vele alikhanza ukuthi alikaphephi. So ke ngicela Madam ngokusho njalo ngiyadicela timbunga ukuthi vele twemukele lama regulations angasali nje lapha bambelela live lisalele ngemuva.
Senator Chief Ngomendla Ngamandla was seconded and supported by Chief Prince Mphatva on this motion.
Ngibonge President kwami ku-supporta imphunga lapha leta nama-regulations elitiko. Kungacela Madam President ukuthi vele sikuphasise lokho ngoba lokho kuhamba nemthetho wa-ICAO lapho utholakala khona ukuthi kufuna kube ne-certification. Manje-ke nakungekho kule ma-regulations lawa uthola ukuthi asahambi kahle lakhathi ku-certifications lapho bese uthola mhlambe khona like alikaphephe.
The Honorable Minister of Public Works and Transport, Senator Chimdladla Ndwandwe, highlighted the importance of these regulations.
Sinemhlaba wonke la kule tendiza. Imithetho leminingi isuka le eka International Civil Aviation Organization. Lekufanele ke silive sibese sesi aligner naloko lesikwenda konjelana sifuna aligner naloko lokushiwo ngumhlaba ukuthi nine bakangwane nithi niyandiza iphi inqubo yenu nenda njani nayo le ndlungulu yetendiza emhlaba isibukile nakungendeka sitholakale letindvo leti solo siyitele lama regulations onke lawo bangabese basicela ukuthi sibamele eceleni kancane sisalungisa lokho nase sikulungisileke bese siyabuya sesho sesime kahle.
The Senate then adopted all 4 regulations with their amendment from the Honorable House of Assembly. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkatsuwe Koza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini and Temba Shabangu, Parliament.
Tasco Cash and Carry directors say there is still no, or rather they are yet to quantify the amount of damage yet since the fire. It is still too soon to say, they say. Now, the National and Fire Emergency personnel were still fighting the fire on Wednesday.
Following a fire that broke out on Tuesday night, burning down Tasco Cash and Carry in Matsapa, the National Fire and Emergency Services played a vital role in putting out the fire, which was very, very strong. The news crew on Wednesday paid a visit again to the scene where the fire personnel were still there trying to put out the fire as it was still burning. Police officers were also seen ensuring safety. There were no remains of any of the things that were inside the shop as it was reduced to ashes. The news crew also spoke with the directors of the company who said they do not have the amount of the damage as yet since it is still early to say. They say they are considering opening another shop around Matsapa. When asked what's the fate of the employees after the incident, they say that this is also in discussion, but they might employ them in their new branch. They also confirmed that the wholesale was insured. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian MCB, Matsapa.
The Honourable Minister of Health, Mduduzi Matsebula, says the Kingdom of Eswatini is tightening port health systems to ensure safety of Eswatini from international diseases. The Honourable Minister was speaking during the launch of the Port Health Awareness Roadshow held at Ngwenya Port Gate. Samkasiwa Koza has more on that story.
Due to rise in pandemics and international diseases, the Ministry of Health has launched a Port Health Awareness Roadshow to ensure that all those who enter the Kingdom of Eswatini are healthy. The Honourable Minister of Health, Mduduzi Matsebula, says Eswatini is tightening port screening systems.
We are all aware of the dangers posed by the infections and communicable diseases such as COVID, such as Mpox, cholera, and others. Mpox recently declared by WHO as a public health emergency of international concern. As a country, we have structures to deal with such situations, but we have identified gaps in the health information dissemination within the country's borders health context.
Centers for Disease Control Country Director Dr. Mitchell Adler applauded the Kingdom of Eswatini for this remarkable project.
Support this very important event to raise awareness of truly the importance of port health as part of Eswatini's continuing commitment to health security and really ensuring that all those traveling across the borders, both for work as well as for personal travel, are able to be safe.
Mochana, Member of Parliament Wilton Gambule, said their wish is to have a fully fledged hospital.
Kube ne-industrial area lithuthuke nje lelive lelisango lakangwane unalehloniphekile siyafisa kakhulu ukuthi nalenzawo nje ibe nesibhedlela lesithuthukile.
The roadshow will be held at Lomahasha border gate next week. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Suekoza with Temba Shabangu, Gwenya.
Next month, the Planning and Budgeting Committee will start budgeting on the UMSEBE Integrated Financial Management Information System by the Ministry of Finance. The system, according to the Minister, the Honourable Neil Rickenback, is digital and will ensure transparency and efficiency on government expenditure, which government developed with the assistance of Rwanda Corporation. Now, this was revealed during the Extraordinary Steering Committee meeting at Sbanesam Hotel at Zulini, where the Minister also unveiled the system's official logo.
UMSEBE project officially commenced in May of this year under my stewardship, and I'm pleased to report that despite facing some internal challenges, we have made significant strides. The implementing team from RCI has worked diligently and in alignment with our schedule. We are on track for the go live of phase 1, release 1 in October. This release will introduce the chart of accounts and the planning and budget modules, mainly targeting the planning and budget teams. Looking ahead, phase 2 is set for April 2025 and will involve the whole of government, while phase 3 will follow in April 2026 to complete all modules. The third and the fourth financial years will be for integration with other relevant systems to ensure the completeness of the PFM system cycle.
Head of the Rwandan Corporation, which was instrumental in the formulation of the system, Dr. Willie says they have worked with due diligence to come up with the system.
As Team Rwanda, we recommit to deliver within budget, quality, scope, and timeline. These are major critical components of a successful project.
Chairperson of the Ministry of Finance Portfolio Committee, Maui Kumalo, has applauded the Ministry for Finance for coming up with such a system.
The IFMIS initiative paves the way for the much easier implementation and the overall operationalization of the Public Finance Management Act of 2017, without which we're just as good as driving on a narrow road that is inundated with heavy traffic, with hurdles and bottlenecks.
The system, when in full motion, will contain 17 modules, 11 of which will be used by the Treasury Department. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Fuminkosi Nzinisa, Ezulwini.
The Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology has thrown all its weight behind the implementation of the UMSEBE Integrated Financial Management Information System by the Ministry of Finance. The Honourable Minister Savannah Mazia says strong and capable teams have been appointed under the ministry, which will ensure that the system, which is meant to ensure transparency in government spending, is implemented successfully. The minister was represented by the Honourable Minister for Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Jane Simelane, during the Extraordinary Steering Committee meeting at Sbanesam Hotel at Zulini.
I am pleased to report that the leadership of our RSTP has already designated a dedicated team of 5 ICT experts who will be deployed to the project management unit on a full-time basis. In addition, a supplementary team of 7 officers will be on standby to provide assistance as needed. This allocation of resources underscores our firm commitment to this initiative, which we regard as a national priority.
The Acting Auditor General says the UMSEBE Integrated Financial Management Information System will play a pivotal role in their line of work.
From an auditor's perspective, the benefits of an IFMIS are truly transformative and game-changing. Transparency is the cornerstone of public finance management. With the UMSEBE IFMIS in place, auditors have access to real-time data, detailed transaction records, and comprehensive financial reports.
Accountant General Nomsa Simelane says officers will be trained on the system to ensure efficient use.
The Treasury Department is working on the professionalization of the cadre. We have partnered with API, African Professionalization Initiative, in collaboration with strategic partners like PAFA, HHH, which is the Association for African Accountant Generals, and AfroSci-E.
The Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology has pledged to continue supporting the Ministry of Finance throughout the implementation stage. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Ezulwini.
Right, with that we segue into the world of business, where we take a look at financial indicators that will give us a sense of how markets fared today in our financial report.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in into Eswatini TV. Thanks so much for making us your news channel of choice. We continue with the news. The Crown witness in the case against the two accused charged for contravening Suppression of Terrorism Act, Smangaskwili Vilagati and Tandogutle Kalimise Dlamini, carrying a firearm, mentioned that he dropped his leisure and told them that he too was a comrade. Now, he explained that he informed them to these after they instructed him to tell the crowd that was following them after having set fire to the Times of Eswatini newspaper vehicle that they should desist from such, as they were comrades, not criminals.
The accused persons also face charges of malicious damage to property, robbery and theft. These two accused persons are part of a group of suspects charged with the terrorist activities allegedly committed in the country between 2021 and 2022 during the period of unrest. During the first hearing of this case, a court order was issued stating that the media houses should not disclose the names of the witnesses in this case. A Crown witness tells the court that on the 22nd of November 2022, he was inside his house when he heard people shouting outside telling him to apprehend the accused persons. He says it was early in the morning around 6:30 a.m. The witness testifies that he got up, put on his clothes, grabbed his leisure and went outside. Just before stepping outside, he heard two gunshots. Once outside, he says he saw the accused persons approaching him, armed with a gun, while one of them carried a plastic bag with something inside. He mentions that the accused were walking calmly without running. Upon seeing that the accused were armed, he immediately dropped the slasher he was holding. Luckily, the accused did not see the slasher. He says after throwing away the slasher, the accused allegedly told him to tell the crowd that was following them not to do such, claiming that they were comrades, not criminals. He says they showed him the Times of Eswatini newspaper motor vehicle that they had set on fire, saying it was proof that they were comrades. The witness testifies that, fearing for his life, he told the accused that he too was a comrade. The accused then left and the witness spoke to the crowd. At the time of compiling the report, the accused lawyer, Matokoza Mpamal, was still expected to cross-examine the witness about his testimony. Their case is set to resume on Thursday. The Crown is represented by Advocate Nayom Manaka, and the case is being heard by High Court Judge Nkosinathi Maseko. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, High Court.
Welcome back on our sports news. The chess national team safely landed in Budapest, the capital city of Hungary, ahead of the 45th Olympiad competition. Now, the team of 12 players will be looking to once again return home with a gold medal following the achievement by the ladies' chess national team in 2022 when the games were held in India.
Iqembu le-Eswatini chess national team lihambe kahle kakhulu kusuka kaNgwane la tofika even lase Budapest even lase.
Eswatini Chess Federation Secretary General Qiniso Matsebula says the team landed safely in Budapest, in the capital city of Hungary, to take part of the 45th edition of Olympiad Chess Games. Matsebula says on Tuesday the team took part of the official opening ceremony of this year's competition. He says the 12 private players have been going through few preparations ahead of their first competitions. The women's team began their journey against Luxembourg, while the men's team began their journey with Kosovo. Matsebula concluded mentioning that the target remained the same, which is to return with another gold, just like in 2022, when the games took place in India, where the ladies team came home with a gold medal.
Lesingacela nje eMaswatini ngiyoyisupport nemithandazo sayobhekana nabo lesiyodlala nabo sinelithemba ukuthi kukhona lokuhle lesitawubuya.
The Eswatini Boxing Association Secretary General Nati Dlamini says preparations for introducing boxing for disabled are at an advanced stage, with the preliminary stage being workshops where they will be training both boxers and administrators.
As an association of boxing, we have a strong hope and a strong belief that one day, sooner or later, we will witness boxing of disability in Eswatini. Fortunately, we have one of our candidates in boxing, Coach Maxwell Ngwenya, who is in the Disability Association, who is also persisting us to work hard and try to introduce boxing and work hard and try to conduct the rightful person to teach us about how to do boxing with the disabled people. So we believe that as an association, trying to pull that idea to our AFBC and IPA so that they can educate us on how to engage these people, because sport is for us all. It doesn't discriminate. So we're hoping as an association that that idea will come to action sooner or later. As an association, we have seen the need that people must play sports willingly, and they must choose the sport that they love. For boxing, we believe that a person who loves boxing can play boxing, no matter what limitation he has. There is no limit to do a sport. So long there is a will, there is a way. So we strongly believe that we're going to find a way to engage everyone in the sport of boxing.
Right, with those sports news, we hit the home stretch of the news at 10, brought to you by Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of news making headlines tonight. The Deputy Prime Minister encourages motorists to respect pedestrians, including disabled members of the public. Senate wants the Minister for Finance to table a report about the drugs situation in the country. And the Minister for Health has launched the campaign that seeks to strengthen screening at the country's ports of entry. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, that's how we reach the conclusion of the news at 10 at Eswatini TV. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the team at Eswatini TV. For now, it is good night and God bless.